Alright, so what we have here are Finnex's new lights. Um, I'll go ahead and talk about the Vivid Plus right here and the Planted Plus 24/7 SE, and I'll kind of go through the differences between each model. We'll do a side shot here. So you have your Planet Plus 24/7 SE, and then you have your Planet Plus 24/7, and then a Stingray, and then a first gen Planet Plus, and then a Monster Ray, and then the Vivid Plus. So let's go ahead and start off with the Planet Plus SE. The main difference between the SE and the non-SE, or I guess this is the first gen, they're essentially kind of the same lights. They just kind of added more features. As you can clearly tell, the feet are different. And the cool thing about the SE is it can actually pivot. So if you have, glass tops like I do, it allows you to get more access, more room basically, to feed your fish, or if you have a canopy or anything like that. So that's kind of cool. The other difference is that the Planet Plus SEs, I don't know if you can tell, but they have the true red LEDs versus the regular Planet Plus. I don't think I have it on right now on that setting, but they're both on the max setting on the remote. So look here, they're both on this setting right here, max. So ideally the SE will cost a little bit more, but that addition of the red lights helps with photosynthesis for plants. Basically, plants will absorb that better than the Planet Plus. If I remember correctly, par-wise or brightness-wise, they do run about the same. So if you're still looking for something that requires more light, then I would do the Finnex Ray 2. But I guess the features are pretty much the same as the first gen Planet Plus 24/7. So I mean, if you're familiar with the remote, it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's got your bells and whistles. It has your moonlight, the sunrise and sunset, thunderstorm, and cloud cover. I know that's kind of similar to current USA satellite LED pluses and the LED Plus Pros. And then it has your 24/7 mode, basically, where it cycles and it kind of turns on and off, or turns off the lights at a certain amount of time. The other main difference that I've noticed is, I think from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., the Planet Plus SEs turn completely off. So there's no blue light, no moonlights. The Planet Pluses 24/7s will still have a kind of a bluish light. So I mean, that's not really a huge difference. So this is what my tank looks like with just the Planet Pluses on, both of them on. And I mean, it's got some pretty good light. The fake plants look pretty nice. I'm still kind of in the middle of transitioning from fake plants over to real plants. As you can see, it's kind of bare right now, so bear with me. So I'll go ahead and turn those off for now, and then I'll go ahead and turn on the Stingray. And yeah, it's bright enough to see the fish, which is great. Not really good for plants if you've got a deep tank like mine. This is a 120 gallon tank. It's about 2 feet or 24 inches tall by 24 inches wide and 48 inches in length. but it still does the trick. That's the light that I keep on my tank right now, and it's primarily good for like really low light plants. So we're talking like cryptocorin, Anubias, things like that. I don't really have the Planted Plus 24/7 programmed right now, at least not until I get more plants in my tank. So now basically what I want to compare is the Stingray and the Monstray. So what Finnex basically did was they combined both of these right here, and that is the Vivid Plus. So basically what you get here is one strip of the Stingray lights and then one strip of the color enhancing lights from the Monstray. So I'll go ahead and turn that on. That's the... So I guess I totally forgot that the Vivid Plus has two switches. One switch turns on the Stingray lights, and then the other switch, which is on the other end here, turns on the Monstray lights. So you kind of get that pinkish hue like you normally get from the Monstray. And as you can see, you know, the reds and greens are a lot more deeper. The blue on my discus right here is kind of more vibrant. Things just tend to pop out more. The driftwood looks really great. And basically, you kind of get the best of both worlds with the Vivid Plus here. And it's not going to color enhance as well as a straight up Monstray, but for what you're getting, you know, it's kind of like the in-between price between the Stingray here and the Monstray. So that's another good option for low light plants and a lot of good color enhancement. I did run a older video kind of showing the comparison between the older models, so you can kind of see that in my channel. It's basically just a nice comparison between what looks good in a tank or what kind of features you need in your tank. If you're not really into a planted tank, or if you've got cichlids, then you know, a Stingray and a Monstray is something that you might want to focus your lights on. Or, you know, just get a Vivid Plus. You get the best of both worlds. So I'll go ahead and turn on the Monstray, and see, you can kind of see the step up on the pink hue, but the blue on my discus is a lot more vibrant. My clown loaches here are begging for food. But like the fins, their bodies, they look a lot more vibrant. Yeah, just pretty much everything in general looks pretty nice. Everything kind of stands out more. So I think that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to tell you guys other than that the Planted Plus SEs are great for what you're getting. And you know, it's one of my favorite lights right now. The first generation Planted Pluses, not the 24/7 models, I believe still runs a little bit higher as far as par, so you're going to get more brightness out of that compared to the Planted Plus 24/7s. So, you know, if you're looking for that extra par, then that's the light that you would go for. So yeah, I mean, if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave a question or just, I don't know. I am jumbling words now. So yeah, there you go. I'll go ahead and set up my camera here and kind of just scroll through the various modes so you can kind of see how each light kind of works, basically. Alright. Okay, so right now every light is off except for the Planted Plus 24/7 SE. I'll go ahead and turn on the Planted Plus 24/7 right now. And then I'll turn off the SE. So you can kind of see they're both about the same, I'd say, as far as light. I want to say that the SE kind of gives a little bit more red from the true red lights. So yeah, that's actually not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the Planet Plus 24/7 and turn on the regular Planet Plus. And basically right off the bat you can see it looks a little bit darker. But I mean that could also be because of my camera trying to auto balance here. Alright, so I guess now that looks about the same as well. And I'll go ahead and turn that off and turn on the Stingray. Okay, so the Stingray kind of has a more cooler, kind of bluish tint. Kind of a, it's kind of a balance, I would say, which is good for low light. I mean, you can still see the fish. Plants still look pretty nice. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the Stingray and then turn on the Monster Ray. Oh, sorry. So the Monster Ray, you know, if you got a lot of pink, a lot of pinks in there, so that's because the red, green, and blue lights are basically what color enhances all of the things in there. So if you did the Monster Ray and the Stingray together, the Stingray basically kind of just balances out that pinkish hue while you still get that color enhancement from the Monster Ray. And so essentially with those two you could get the Vivid Plus. Now, it's probably not doing the tank justice right now because the Vivid Plus is directly in front of the tank, and I mean, as you can see, there's basically 6 light fixtures on top of my tank right now. But if you were to position that, you know, in the same place, like towards the center, it should be lighting up the tank pretty well. So there you go. That's pretty much the comparison video for the newer lights.